A very good afternoon to one and all in the post-lunch session. Okay. By the way, if you have missed the clip which was screened during lunchtime, please visit our website, that is svt.edu.in, or the FB link which is pasted over here. Okay, but do that later. Myself, Rajeshri Shinde, I take this opportunity to moderate the next part of this webinar titled Entrepreneurship in the New Normal. Dear all, we just left the year that actually made sense to what disruption really means and why agility and adaptability will be the key to surviving any disruption. In the year 2020, unemployment turned out to be the second biggest concern. You know what was the first concern? It was the novel coronavirus. In such scenarios, one of the most discussed topics is entrepreneurship. While thinking of big entrepreneurship, the important aspect is to build a niche in consumer market. Okay, so here I request Dr. Bhamini Mehta, Assistant Professor, Human Development Department, Sir Vittal Das Thakurse College of Home Science. I request her to introduce our next speaker of the session, Building a Niche in Consumer Market. Bhamini?
Yeah, thank you, Rajeshri. It is my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Smarth. Dr. Smarth is the founder and chair of Interlink Consulting Firm in India. In other words, if we put it, Interlink in fact focuses on converting science to business. Interlink has currently a team of 125 consultants, and to tell you, they are making an influential impact on the performance of the clients. Dr. Smarth, a thought leader in pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals, has a strong educational base. He has several degrees. To mention masters in science, he has a master's in management studies, a degree in FRSA, and also a PhD. Currently, he is involved in teaching postgraduate students in institutes of higher education, such as IIM, JBIMS, and NMIMS. He is also a PhD guide and a member of the Board of Studies at SNDT Women's University, Kohinoor Management Institute, and Bombay College of Pharmacy. Till date, Sir has trained nearly 15,000 pharma executives. Adding to his glory are also several books and books authored and co-authored by him. And recently there'll be another publication of his coming out in the market quite soon. Dr. Smarth is at present on the panel of nutraceutical mission of CSIR. He's a member of ITF, and to also not forget and mention that he's also on the advisory board of the EIP cell of our own college. And he's also the vice president of HATSA. I welcome Dr. Smarth to address the audience on the topic, building a niche in the consumer market. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Hello. Can I see all? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all. I think let me at the beginning, on behalf of HATSA, as I am Vice President of HATSA, thank Dr. Madan to really start this industry academia platform through this particular webinar. And I think it's a very initiating and a powerful work which we really like to do for today as well as for tomorrow. When I was listening to Dr. Madan, Mr. Ajit Singh, and also Dr. Vaibhav today in the morning in the inaugural session, I found that one message was very clear, that the nutraceutical is going to be a game-changing partner for pharmaceuticals in the area of health. Similarly, Ayurveda will be, because Ayush is taking a lot of struggle and pride in terms of developing Ayurvedic products also in the world. So, which is the right thing to do at the right, let's say, mindset, which Dr. Vaibhav was also telling. Now, in fact, the right mindset is something which we would like to really connect with body, mind, and soul. And our theme is also body-mind connectivity. So I think it's very important for us to really look at it. Now, when I look at Atmanirbhar part of it, Atmanirbhar, in my opinion, is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur has to be Atmanirbhar. He has to look at it, that he has to start the whole process alone. And that's what Tagore, like Rabindranath Tagore also said, Ekala Chalore. That means go alone and probably people will follow you. So I think that's where we need to look at it. Now, let me come back to, let's say, how to build a niche in the market. And let's see that how to build a niche in the market. Let me see what I can really give you in terms of. Can you see me? My screen? Hello? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think let's start with building a niche in consumer market. Now, when I'm asking you to build a niche in consumer market in also new normal era, everybody is talking about new normal era. Let's see what is new normal era. So in terms of new normal era, when we look at this particular phrase that everybody is talking about new normal, what is new normal, in my opinion, is the kind of shape which we are going to give it to the global economy as it is struggling to define new normal. Believe me, we are still struggling, all of us, to define new normal. So new ways to really deal with new ambiguity or new normal, we need to really form. We talk about new normal environment, etc. So I think one of the first mind shift, which you call it as a mindset building, is stop assuming that old ways will come back. Old ways are not going to come back. So obviously, we need to find out which are the new ways to deal with this particular new normal way. So there are 8 ways to deal with the new normal. Now, these 8 ways to deal with new normal are, number 1, is the thinking we need to do is to start thinking how to really organize our business in a distributed stakeholdership model. All of you are working from home. I would call it as a working from everywhere. So from that point of view, we need to really have a distributed network or distributed stakeholders. So we need to start organizing our mind, not at one roof or the college or the, let's say, hostel or as the office, but it is like a distributed stakeholdership. How do I really manage that? Second is, we need to accelerate the practices which are best practices or next practices. Which are the best practices going on? If TCS says up to 2022, I'm not going to open my office and only we'll work from head, let's say on remote basis. Is it going to be reality of remote and a hybrid model with physical and remote? Let's look at this. What kind of practice we are going to do? Another thing is very clearly competitors need to be collaborated now. Flexibility, inclusiveness has to come. And most important thing for any entrepreneur is an accountability. He can't leave it halfway. So you will see also that earlier it was just in time. Now we are in just in, let's say, supplies. Domino's, say all the products which are on Amazon, just in supplies. So just in supplies is going to be more important to look at the new ways. So next is make use of advanced technology. Advanced technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, all these things are useful. And we have, at least in Interlink, a kind of startups because we support in Interlink startups. So from that point of view, we find there are many people who are coming up in the nutraceutical field with the gadgets, with a kind of AI and machine learning advantage of technology. Focus on leadership and work well with partners so that make a bigger picture. So you're not alone. You cannot do everything alone. Even the kings cannot do run their empire alone. So obviously we need a partnership with people. Sustainability is equally important because we need to sustain this business. And last is very clearly it is to be innovative. And in my opinion, looking at my 36 years of experience of entrepreneurship as well as building up the organization like Interlink, I can tell you every 3 years or 4 years, we need to change the service. So innovation is very critical. Creating entry barriers are important. So I think that's way we need to look at our own ways to look at building the kind of new normal part of it. Let's look at what is a niche. What's the niche we are going to really build up? Now, what is the niche and how big the niche should be? In my own experience, I can tell you, we started Interlink 36 years before, where Tata Consultancies, myself, Kirloskar Consultancies, Arthur Anderson, these were the people. Today, nobody is there except Tata Consultancy and Interlink. Not because of anything else, but just because of this niche. we are operating in pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, and wellness industry, and that's it. So as a result, we find the industry itself is growing so well. So obviously niche need not be small niche, but it could be a big niche. So how big niche could be? Now in nutraceuticals, I can tell you, there are many niches. One niche could be created by ingredients. Another niche could be created by products. Third niche could be created by the organizations. Now, one of the examples I can give you very clearly is a DuPont. DuPont has created a niche in probiotics. OmniActive, it has created niche in lutein. EID Paris, they have created niche in spirulina. Astaxanthin has been created by Fuji, let's say, chemicals. So I think these people have created the niches for themselves. Now, this niche is important for us from the product point, from the ingredient point of view. Product point of view, you have very clear probiotic available, Yakult, which is in India, all over the world. And also organizational point of view, we have so many organizations, Amway, Herbalife, all these companies have really created their own niches through multi-level marketing, through different practices, etc. So niche is important. How big the niche also is equally important. Now, how do you build the niche in a consumer market? The first thing in consumer market, I always think about it, I have been propagating, written in books also, that there should be outside in process, not inside out, not from the product to the customer, from the customer to the product. I spent little time, maybe 3 or 4 hours with Peter Drucker, who is a management guru, who is no more now, but he was and he is still a management guru. He said, what is the business and the purpose of business? The purpose of business is nothing but, in his own opinion, which is true at him today, is creating a customer and retaining him. We need to create a customer for our own product, for our own thought, for our ideas, and also retain him for ourselves. If we retain, there's no competitor. If you don't retain, there's a competition. So obviously, that's where the dynamics go up in consumer market. So consumer has to be really be looked into first. The first part is a kind of identifying consumer needs. This is where you find the important aspect of looking at the consumer and at the needs. There are many needs of consumer has in terms of Indian needs, in terms of all over the world. If I clarify that, India being health conscious now, also highly influenced by TM, that is, excuse me for that. There's a high influence of, let's say, traditional medicines, high incidence of diabetes, osteoporosis, obesity, usage of vitamins, and rising also middle class. Rising middle class, what I'm trying to say is very simply the disposable income is going to hurt more. This pandemic also has created little niche for ourselves in terms of immunity and all other aspects of getting the protective part of it, preventive part of it, of the health. Let's look at the consumer needs, which are needs which have come up faster in last few years. Looking at this, you'll find that the improved mental health, energy levels requirements, gut health, improved immunity, managing inflammation, which is related to the old age or greater ages, and also cardiac health. So look, you can perhaps make it in any area, the kind of niche yourself, and the niche can be extending itself towards gut health. Gut health is an excellent example. The niche can be expanded anywhere in the gut, entire, let's say, microflora. So needs of the consumer is the first thing and the first step you need to do. And for that purpose, you need to study this entire mapping of let's say, consumers. Second is, let's say, define demographics and psychographics of consumer. To give you an example, when we launched VIP toys, there were no such toys available. The good old chubby dubby dollies were available. They used to get married during those days in the villages and in the also urban areas. We had a very big difficulty in terms of identifying a consumer. We did a lot of behavioral studies, a lot of U&A studies, usage and attitude studies. We found out there are only two areas or two things or two paragraphs or two parameters work well. One is a profession, another is a income. Now, they are the only two categories we rejected. Profession, panwala, income, lakh of rupees per month. Will he purchase? Answer is no. Income, 5,000 rupees, executive or a boy, person, and also having family, and income is maybe 25,000 rupees. So I think looking at this, we found out the demographics and psychographics put together and the income put together, we created the niches for ourselves. And that's where VIP toys could be successful. Just to give you another example of it, we created the guns. And the guns we used to send to north, everything is to go to consume. We used to send to south and it to come back. So we started discussing why is it happening, why is it happening. Then we found out that there are two market taught us very clearly. There are two types of toys. One is a educational toys, another is action toys. So we created action toys for the north and east, and also educational toys for south. So sometimes market gives us a very clear, through demographics, through psychographics, the consumer needs and consumer options. Third is, look at the demographics also. Indian demographics will see 45, 41% or 17, 18% is the area in which you can capture very clearly. There are areas at the children level, there are areas at the geriatric level. You can choose any other area in terms of really getting your segment. It's also very important for the segment. There's a third part is a segment. Choose a segment. I'll give you another example. I don't know how many of you know that, but I'm sure you may not know that. On the same day when Maggi was launched, Supermum was launched. Supermum was Lipton product. And Supermum is nowhere today in India or the world. Maggi is everywhere. Because Maggi chose a segment of children and Supermum chose a segment of elderly people. And you had a mistake in terms of Supermum and you had a real success in terms of Maggi's. So segment is equally important for you. There's a third part of it. Fourth is, in this way, in this segment, you need to look at it. Would you like to go by OTC method? Would you like to go by influencer method? Will you like to go by prescription method? Where would you like to go? Where would you like to go for sports, fitness? These are the different segments available to you. Now, whatever is your strength, whatever is your opinion, whatever is your idea, whatever is your concept, please try to fit in to these segments where the clinical nutrition as well as nutrition is going to be useful for your customers. Next one is that choose the technology. Now, nutrigenomics, nanotechnology, innovative delivery and systems, blockchain, e-commerce, whatever may be the way you would like to really do. And here, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and also the gadgets, I would call it. You will see a beautiful watch on number of risks today, and they would give everything from the point of view of how many, let's say, the steps you have taken today, 1,000 steps, 10,000 steps, and you be fit. There are many areas in which artificial intelligence is working today. I have seen a mug which you hold in your hand. Its sensory perception is being from the mug. And if you are a diabetes person, you will get all the details about diabetes, what you should do, what you should not do. It will also give you a kind of always feedback, drink water, drink this. So in other words, what you find is that gadgets are coming up which are important for the nutrition purpose and also for customer purpose. Don't get into the product, but the new concept, new ideas, new thoughts are equally important by technologically driven ideas. Personalization is a key. That's the fifth one, evidence-based and personalized formulation. Here is something which is related to DNA, related to your genes, genetics, and there are many products available today. I would say minimum $2 million market is available in India, which very specific market where you have highly, let's say, conditioned as well as unconditional both tests available. Now these tests which are to be given to the, let's say, customer who would like to get the recipes done by his own personalized, let's say personalized nutrition. So I think there are many ways by which you can, and all of you are learning new things. I'm sure I'm slightly away from you or behind to you, but you are getting a new technology, new knowledge. I am very hopeful on you and on your abilities to really get into it. Last is a very important issue is the creating customer value or value proposition. Now this value proposition is an important issue. Believe me, you may have excellent product, you may have excellent technology, you may have excellent, but the value proposition which is very important, and this value proposition is very different in terms of time. Like I give you a small example of Domino's. They created a response time. Within half an hour, if I don't deliver the pizza, probably you don't pay me. It's a response time. You need to create something which is in time, which is in value to the customer. I'll give you a small diagram of this particular thing so that you will understand what I'm trying to say. You may have a product, you may have a concept, you may have an idea. You may have consumer needs and preferences, but try and find out which are emotional needs, which are really ensuring that he has to be attached to you permanently. And that's where the value proposition comes in. When you facilitate that value proposition, value creation happens. When value creation happens, you will find the repeat purchases, repeat people, repeat customers, repeat patients, repeat medical consumers, they come back to you. So I think most crucial aspect of having product is not as much as nearer to the customer. I'm not saying it's not important, very important, as nearer to the customer as customer looks at it differently to the different things. You'll be surprised to see when we launched it, I would say washing machines in North, when we saw that a lot of sales are there, and we could see that our sales, the needs of the customers were doing lassis, and the washing machines were used for lassis. You don't know how the customer is going to pursue and which way it is going to use it. So I think most important issue is the value perception, remaining with your values, not by changing it like, let's say, washing machine to, let's say, lassi making machines. No, I'm trying to say that at a consumer level, we need to really look. So in other words, on product level, consumer level, business level, and marketing level has to be really clearly understood. Next part is now the business part. Comprehensive plan has to be there. We should take care of regulatory, commercial, customer retention, and customer creation as a niche. Please focus on niche. Niche is sufficient, my dear students, my dear friends. And that's where you find the last one I come back on, Peter Drucker will say, great consumers and also retain them. Create them and retain them. I think that's where I would like to really stop at this moment. And I must thank HARSA for ensuring that this particular platform is happening today. And I thank you very much. Like in Interlink, we have in life, we have either reasons or results. I think that's what should be the inward entrepreneur's motto. We have either reasons or results. When we have no results, we have enough reasons. When we have results, we have no reasons. So thank you very much for really giving me this time. And I hope that I have finished it with 20 minutes as with the timeline. Is that okay, ma'am?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Dr. Sumanta. I think your presentation was very crisp, and you have thrown light on what is niche, what are different aspects where an entrepreneur should focus. Also, nicely, you have explained how technologically driven ideas like artificial intelligence can serve the path to success. Okay, and creating value to product, concept, idea is very, very essential for an entrepreneur. That can be a game changing way for an entrepreneur to succeed. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. We will definitely.
I hope I have communicated right. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, there was a cough in between. So that was the allergic cough which usually comes to me.
No, sir.
Right? Thank you.
Absolutely not an issue. Thank you very much, sir.